Hi, welcome to another episode of Shutter Stories Uncensored. I'm Mark, your host, and today we're going to talk about a few stories, few things that happened to me during my time at the Series Courier. First off, we're going to talk about I got a scanner call for a car versus telephone pole. Jumped in my car with my gear and got out there and got on scene, saw that the car ran right through the telephone pole, sheared it in half. The top half of the pole was still hanging from the uh, telephone lines. I don't think it was power. I think it was just telephone. And the car had hit something else and came to a stop. And got out with my gear. Got some shots of them loading the kid up. It was a driver, 16 or 17 years old. He was attending Ceres High School. I found out afterwards and got some photos of them taking him away in an ambulance and firemen working on the car and all that. So I got photos. We ran the photo on A1 above the fold for that week, and a few days later, the young man who was in that wreck came in, bought a reprint of the photo. I made the print. That was part of my job at the Courier, other than being the photojournalist and running the lab. I also would, part of running the lab would make reprints. So I made the reprint, got it back out to the kid. He picked it up, and about a week or so later, we got the school paper in the mail. And for Ceres High School, the school paper was called the Barker. And I hadn't seen one in a while, so I grabbed it just to take a look. And to my surprise, on A1 above the fold was a story that the kid did about his wreck. And he used our photo, and to my horror, I noticed he didn't give the Ceres Courier any credit for the photo. And which is bad, bad, bad. That's technically plagiarism. And if you can go ahead, and use the photo, but you would need to give the Ceres Courier. I don't care about it was my photo, who took the photo. I was more concerned that the Courier didn't get credit at all. And I was kind of surprised that the teacher in charge of the school paper didn't catch it and didn't correct it before it went to print. So I pointed out to my editor, Jeff. He made a phone call, talked to the advisor, and she told him that she will address that. And she was apologized for not giving the Courier credit, but she said it won't happen again. And I wasn't concerned about the use of the photo. I was just concerned that no credit was given, and that's the standard. At least the minimum requirement is that you would give the publication credit for the use of the photo. So that got handled, and a few months after that, that advisor, I forget her name now, but she was also in charge of the yearbook. She came in to talk to me about getting sports photos that I shot at the Courier during sporting events involving Ceres High School. No matter if it's high school football, varsity JV, baseball, same varsity or JV, softball, no matter what the sport. As long as, she wanted to see all the photos for that current year, because she was going to use them, reprint them, and put them in their yearbook. And that's funny because I graduated from Ceres High School in 1979, but I had nothing to do with photography for the school. I wasn't part of the paper or the yearbook. But years later, I would go to work for the Ceres Courier, and now I'm going to be supplying photos for the yearbook. So my work was going to be in the yearbook, and after I graduated, I'm back. I'm in the yearbook now. That's kind of cool flow. Um, so I was kind of cool. I was happy to do that. Jeff was okay. The editor, uh, Doug, the general manager, he was okay with it, and so we did it. I put together a big selection of photos with contacts and negatives, and I put them in an envelope, and left them up front. Contacted the advisor, and she came by and picked them up. And then once she was done, she returned them back to us, and I filed them back into the archives. But yeah, I was just walk down memory lane, when that happened. Uh, I'm always going to remember that I finally, not as a student, but as a former graduate, I got to supply photos for the yearbook. Now, the last story I want to talk about is the biggest fire I ever covered. It was at this big industrial park. It was a big warehouse. The warehouse was operated by a large national moving company. They would come to your house, pick up your stuff, and move it to another city or another place. Or usually it was for someone changing locations. If they're, leaving California or leaving to a bigger city or to a new city, usually you would hire somebody like that to come in and get your furniture, all your household goods, pack them up, and haul them to your new house, no matter wherever that is. Well, their warehouse in Ceres caught fire, and it was a huge fire. Ceres Fire Department, and I believe they got some help from Industrial Fire Department as well to help fight that fire. It was a big fire. Ended up taking out the whole warehouse. So my understanding now, my memory is kind of fuzzy a little bit, but I believe that there was like 5 or 6 families worth of belongings being stored in the warehouse while they got another truck, to move them to where they were going to. So it was just a standby. If it's a local truck and it's going out of state or maybe more than 100 miles away, they're usually unloaded into the warehouse and then get another truck from that area, part of the company, to come down, load it up, and haul it to where it was going. So it was a temporary staging. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Until that staging got completed, I don't really remember what happened, what caused the fire, but it devastated the whole building. It took it down to the ground. It was total loss. Oh man, I got some great shots from above because it was right close to the Whitmore overpass. So I went up on the overpass and got some great angles from up there of the fire and all the fire crews fighting it. It went on for quite a while. No one was injured. None of the firefighters were injured. None of the people working in the warehouse were injured. Everybody was safe. They finally put out the fire. Like I said, it was a total loss. It was just sad, all those belongings, belonging to all those families, total loss. They're going to there was insurance, so they'll get reimbursed, to a point, but a lot of those things more than likely have memories. All my stuff had memories, I still have in my office and in my house. And they're irreplaceable, you can buy new furniture again, but a lot of a lot of those belongings, you know, are irreplaceable. They have more memory value, more value to you personally than they're what's the word? They're priceless. Yeah, so I just felt bad for the people who lost all their stuff, you know. It was a horrible thing. That's all I really have to say about that. It was one of the biggest fires I ever covered. It was the first commercial fire I ever covered. I covered several over the years working at the Series Courier. I covered a big historic building. We'll talk about maybe that next episode. All right, everyone. Again, if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them below. I always love to hear the feedback. And give us a like, give us a share. If you're not a subscriber, smash that subscribe button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. And hit the bell icon too. That way you won't miss any new episodes as this channel keeps growing. Currently, I'm only posting new episodes every Thursday. Usually try to get them done by 6 a.m., posted up by 6 a.m., but usually it's no later than noon. Depends what's going on. I'm going to try to work in a couple short videos, at least one during the week as well. Look for that here shortly. But yeah, so let everyone know about this channel, and everyone be safe out there, and we'll see you next episode. All right, thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel.